has been proven as one of the advanced digital tools that has potential to add significant value to asset and estate. In your opinion, Mr. Rafizlan, how does BIM help to embrace the FM industry? And what is the BIM enable in FM?
So when we talk about BIM, normally BIM, we can, what I can say that during, we gather all the data during pre-construction, during the construction and post-construction. So with this BIM model containing information, and of course, there will be include also the FM data. This can from this data, we can auto-populating and computerize it towards to the FM system. This data and information collected through a BIM process during the building lifestyle will reduce the cost, time required to collect and build the facility management system. Normally, this process involves people, the process itself, and the technologies. This is what I think those three that we can gather all the data, and this will help on the BIM enable to the FM.
Yeah, I think this is a very important right now, since that CIDB are promoting in the construction industry that every construction, perhaps they can utilize BIM as part and parcel of the delivery of the jobs, like also similar to the government. In your opinion, what is the extent of BIM used for the FM in Malaysia? Are they start already, or they are still at the beginning stage?
Frankly speaking, we are at the BIM center, my BIM center. We don't have that data. We never collect that data yet. This is because BIM for FM itself, for BIM module that we have at our places, is just being developed and introduced in late 2018. So this is all, I think, before COVID-19. So when we start on the BIM FM, at the first, when we start with the BIM in 2000, we really start introduce BIM, very aggressively in 2016, when we have a plan under construction industry transformation program, where we want to have one center where we call it My BIM Center, where as a reference center for the BIM industry. And of course, as I said just now, we only started to introduce BIM on FM in ourselves, in our place, is in 2018, and that's why after the COVID also we never had any study, or we don't have any collected data to share to you today. Maybe next time we should have that.
I think this is part and parcel of the promoting about this BIM in the industry, Mr. Rafizlan. So the extend the usage of the BIM to the next level. I think this is what this program has been also created to promote whatever that been created with CIDB. So we want to use that knowledge as a training program that we created, industry awareness, and at the same time preparing the industry on the BIMs. I think maybe the industry, maybe the construction industry is ready, but maybe because we created since 2016, so maybe they just completed the construction and the BIM data is meant for the construction is there. Maybe it's not yet to be delivered to the FM. So I think the moment most of the construction team or the client that already have the BIM data that been created since 2016, I think 3 years the construction period. So I think it's a time for them to embrace this, utilizing the BIM model for the next activity, which is for the FM.
It's fair.
So I think in the same time, so we together with the CIDP also already prepared. So Rafizlan that been launched in 2019. I think the training for the BIM FM coordinator to prepare the industry. So whenever they want to the BIM model is ready for the construction, and then they want to transfer it to the FM. So I think the CIDB also created that module. They call it BIM FM coordinator. I think we just have a first batch for the industrial batch. I think last week. I think we have.
Yes, we have that session last week.
So this is one of the movement about how BIM that been used by the construction team are going to be handed over to the FMs, whereby whether the FMers or whether the clients that want to translate or want to make use of the model that we created, they can have attend, or maybe they can attend this training to prepare their team, know how they can make use of what the BIM for FM. Doing a little bit promotion about that training. So we welcome for everybody that are interested to join this BIM FM coordinator. I think you can come to my CIDB construct for that kind of training certifications.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I have a question, Ms. Surveyor Nazir. I think many of us want to know what is BCI FM. So can you little bit share about it?
Okay, well, Assalamualaikum and very good evening. Thank you to our host and thank you for the introduction. I would like to say also thank you for virtual Sembang Santai for giving me this opportunity to share about the BCISM or initiative undertaken by CIDB, RISM, and of course BCISM. And of course, to all of you, thank you also for joining this program. Malam lagi, and to me it's an honor to be here with you tonight. You are the elites, the top 10% of the people in this industry. Only the very best people in any field we take the time and make the sacrifice to join an event like this. And I admire your commitment and a learning spirit. Okay. Let me start with say that before building any physical structures, I think it is important to know how much you need to spend on the material, on the wage, on the machinery, expertise, and so on. So owing the pandemics as well as the rising material costs, it is even more crucial to control costs to ensure that price are still within the reach of the customer. BCISM or Building Cost Information Services Malaysia can help with this endeavor. Formed in July 2019, BCISM is a collaboration between the CIDB and the Royal Institute of Surveyor Malaysia, RISM. BCISM mission is to provide a credible cost information to the Malaysia construction industry, and also promotes transparency and a more equitable and competitive price, as well as provide construction cost information and advisory construction economics, especially to the governments, which can be used for policy making. BCISM also offer construction cost information to general public also. Prior to the formation of BCISM, I think obtain a building cost it require looking at various sources. However, ensuring that the data was up to date, credible, and accurate was an issue. So a diverse range of users can benefit from the use of the BCISM information. They include the governments, client, investors, developers, contractors, cost quantity surveyors, architects, suppliers, financial engineers, researchers, university and academics. So the type of costs available, including building material prices, labor wage rates, machinery hire rates, and equipment purchase price. They also cost indices like material cost indices, labor cost indices, machinery and equipment cost indices, and we compile all these three indices to develop a BCI or building cost indices. And all information now you can access via online. Or for more information, please visit www.n3c.cidb.gov.my and www.bcism.org.my for more information.
Okay, I think we have I ready to take the question from the audience for the participant. I think we have a question from Mr. Tamil Wan and I think the Secretary of Malaysian Association for Safety Management. So he asked it about the question is about is there financial data to provide to management? Is there what is the expected increase in construction cost if we were to include BIM to FM? If there is financial data to provide to management, I think this to Mr. Rafizan, or maybe whoever that Mr. Selenazi also can also answer it, because this also related to both BIM and FM and also construction cost.
Okay. In my opinion, because I don't have data, exact data we don't have, because if you see, if you look at construction itself, whatever method are you using, the cost is there. It's the same method. Okay. However, when you want to use BIM, the only thing that you need is two. One is people, another one is tools, the software itself. So in terms of people, yes, you need to train them so that they're familiar with what is BIM or familiar with the tools. And second, you have to invest to have the tools, the software itself.
The software itself, yes.
Yes, yes. Other than that, it's the same. I mean, the cost is the same. So you only have to invest those two. Yeah.
I think this is also similar to last. I think those days when we introduce, we convert. I mean, we start to use the AutoCAD.
Yeah. Yeah.
We start to use AutoCAD, and then we need to invest to have a software for the AutoCAD, whereby at the same time after we have the software as a tools, so we need to train our team, our draftmen. Like those days, they are using manual drawing. So they need to convert their skill to digital. I think then there will be a plenty of courses being offered by the institution. I remember that UTM, one of it, the AutoCAD Training Center is significant. So whereby everybody goes to that center to get certification. But nowadays, CIDB is the leading provider on the BIM, so they also provide this kind of training. So I think this where. And relate to that question, okay, did any Mr. Rafizan, did any incentive or any government incentive that been offered for them to attend this kind of training anymore?
You mean only? You mean specifically for FM?
Especially for FM or BIM?
Oh, okay. If for FM, not specifically, but as a whole. Since 2016, CIDB have formed MyBIM Center, which located at Sunway Putra as one-stop center for BIM. And one of the main activity is to do training on BIM. Okay. If we want to change the industry towards BIM, I mean the construction industry, we cannot have only one center in KL because we have several states. So CIDB already invest another 6 center where we have, we call it BIM satellite, okay, located at Negeri Sembilan, Johor, Terengganu, Penang, Sabah, and Sarawak. And we also working together with some universities that have the facilities, and we train them and we give some effort so that they can also become our center. Okay. That is one of the CIDB effort where we're trying to help the industry towards BIM. We have the center, sometimes we subsidize the program. Let's say from 2016 until now, each of the participant will enjoy RM2,000 ringgit for the training. For let's say for the 4 days of trainings, when you come to CIDB, this Mybin Center, you only have to pay around 1,200 to 1,500, depend on the module. And the rest is 2,000 ringgit is covered by CIDB. And I would say that we would like to thank to CIDB. This year, they still have that budget. And of course, it's first come, first serve, meaning that they give only for 1,000 person for this year. So please come and take the opportunity, because they already given 2,000 ringgit to each of you. And I would say that in 2017 to 2019, they have a startup program with a consultant and contractor who can show them or can show the bukti, evidence where they are going to use the next project using BIM. So the startup program is comprised of training and a software where each of the company can earn or can claim back whatever they spend up to 33,000 ringgit.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is what we have lah.
I think it's a good initiative because also it's embracing. I mean, to embrace this technology without this kind of setting up by CIDB, I think it's quite hard. Because of the not only about the training center, but the trainer that been created by CIDB to conduct the training also is from the industry actually.
Yeah.
So, experienced trainer, and it's not just teaching, but they are also doing the implementation of the BIM. So that's the best part. It's not about the money that we just get the incentive, but the knowledge of the trainer that involved in this the program is actually more than the value that you pay.
Yeah. All our trainer is coming from industries.
Yeah.
I
said it because I'm also involved attending this training, so I feel that most of the trainers are. We don't talk about the paper. The paper, I mean, people can get the paper, but the construction knowledge in BIM, that is something that's precious. Cannot get from the school. You need to jump into the construction, use the BIM, and then you know what is actually the benefit to the organization. Okay, back to Nazir. The question of Mr. Tamil asked about the this impacts on this construction cost when talk about the use BIM, and at the same time,
maybe we can relate on the initiative in this leverage the data for FM for BCISM from BCISM. I think looking ahead, BCISM also would like to include more services and products. One of the we are looking now is a whole life cost. So as we know that clients especially in the overseas clients, the construction cost is not only part of burden life cost. I think we also need to look at the maintenance cost, which comprise of repair, renewal, change, and so on. For example, with the pandemics, people have to adapt the premise to deal with the COVID-19, and all these costs are very substantial. I think it is important to look into the life cycle of the projects, and not just the construction costs. Even before the construction, we need to know about where the product come from, the mining the products, the efficiency, or the producing the material, and so on. So that is where the whole life cost come in. Other than looking for the profits or cost to build, I think we don't think about other things like the socio-economic. We need also look for socio-economic aspect and our responsibility to them. So for BCISM, we are looking for we are trying to introduce our upcoming on the initiative in leveraging the data for FM I think three output from our new initiative. The number one is cost comparison analysis based on the project's category. The number two is a standard FM unit cost. And the number three is a whole life cost analysis with elemental cost benchmark. So we are planning to release the beta version. We target by end of this month to release the beta version. So I think maybe this kind of information can be part of the BIM that Mr. Tame looking for. I think Mr. Tame looking for.
Actually, this is the element of the integration. We have Mr. Rofizlan about the BIM, and another is about the BCISM, about the data for the analysis for the life cycles, the LCC life cycle costing. And meanwhile, I'm handling the FM side. I think the digital FM. So this is the synergy that we are going to talking for next year, or not next year, this year throughout this session. How we can bring this over, from the BIM, because the BIM at the moment we talk about, we include the data of the whatever asset that been constructed or been implemented in the models. Of course, we don't. Of course, the QS take away the information. They're not remaining in the model. I think maybe next time we ask them remain the information of the whatever that you put the cost in the model. So at least easy for us to pick up. So otherwise, the QS take away, because they want to go for quantity takeoff, so they take it off. So I think that's a joke. Okay?
Yeah.
But maybe next time we want them remain the data in the model. So then on the FM side, definitely we want to use this data for the facility management activity, for the asset inventory, for the space management, for corrective and preventive, or even the green buildings element. Whereby this actually helps the BCISM, to conclude, what is actually the life cycle costing after the completed of the project. Of course, when we construct, we know what is the project cost, what is the square feet, what are the element of traits that's already been created in the models. But when we do FMs, we start involving the activity, the services, the manpower, the numbers of people that servicing the buildings, and numbers of other activity that's also impacted for the FM to provide the service, such as like to throw away all the waste to one center. So that's cost need to be picked up, and also whatever the payment to the authority in related to managing this facility, or to comply with bylaw, or to comply with any acts, it's not mistaken more than 45 acts that the FMs need to comply actually to manage facility. So they need to be knowledgeable about the legal also, about the acts, because this is the acts that falls under the buildings that we need to adhere in order for us not to get tickets or get summoned from the authorities. So by having that, so we can link it with the BCISMs, so for them, the life cycle costing are going to be real. It's no longer based on the design rule of thumb per square feet, but now it's based on the real aspect. Of course, to do all this, so we need to promote about the digital element. So the digital element, we talk about this is the way we want to go for digital transformation from the BIMs to FMs and out for the life cycle costing. And from that also, we can start giving the value to the owner, to the government agency, how much actually when you construct something, what is actually the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg, underneath the iceberg, the cost to operate the building. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have another question. I think Mr. Tamil is also asking about how many projects have been completed in Malaysia with a BIM for FM built in.
Oh.
So
We are sorry, we don't have that data actually.
at the moment, that there's nobody claim to CIDB that they are doing BIM FM.
Yeah.
But there is a few people that doing it, but it's not parked atau claim under the BIM because under their own initiative. So people like KLCC, Lulus Harta. So the people that sending people training, I think last week,
Yeah.
because
Last
they
week,
already start embarking BIM for FM, maybe because they already harvesting the benefit of BIM to BIM in their construction, and now they are operating it for FM. So they feel that it's a good to have BIM to FM. And maybe after this they want to go for asset life cycles, you know. So
Maybe Mr. Sharon, if I can share, I don't know with it, what I'm saying is true or not. For MRT line 2, last time MRT Corp, they are using our place, one of our room, for 218 days. Yeah, they use our place, they rent just to have some training and some design happen at our using our place. Why I'm saying that? Because each week they have a different subcon. Why? They are using, let's say for the line 2, they have a few, I would say they have a few, maybe 30, 40 subcon, from the drainage until to the line, because they are also underground and overhead train. Yeah, but I've been told that they are at our place. The design is only for elevated railways, not the underground. Okay. Every week, there are different people, set of people are coming for the training together, doing the project. What I can say that during that time, they have to train all the subcon, but the subcon have to produce all the drawing using, they are not using our module, they are trained using based on their projects. So this is unofficial. What I'm when we talk together with the top management of this MRT Corp, the reason why, because they want to train them so that they can come up with LOD 500 drawings together with all the information. When they have that information, it's easier for them to come up with maintenance, facility management. This is what happened. But we are waiting for new line 3. But we are waiting. We've been told that the line 3 is coming. So whether they want to come back to our places and do the same, because I've been told also that each of these subcon, during the tender stage or during the when they awarded, lebih kurang 5% of that project is to train back their staff together with come up with a drawing. This is a very good example what MRT Corp doing, because in the end of the day, the contractor also can come up with all the input together with the FM data, and their personnel is being trained. Like that.
And for everybody information, the CIDB My BIM Center also equipped with the FM solution that they already have it on board. So they have the FM solution. So they have BIM models, they have BIM Revit, they have Revit. I think they also have the FM solution. Whereby if you want to demonstrate a project for FM, I think so the My BIM Center is the best place to go, because because they equipped with that element, a complete set of the BIM to FM, and also element of the FM later on. Maybe you can use it for life cycle costing. And while you are constructing, since you have a model, while they are constructing, the FMers can start using the model that already, maybe LOD 300 or maybe the construction model, to formulate the life cycle costing for you to operate the building, at least by the end of the construction period. So as a client or as a building owner, you already have a feel how much is the cost to operate this facility, and what are the preparation that you need to do in order for you to operate this facility. This is the reason why this journey is continue, because My BIM Center already have this facility. So, and they have a bit better space, I think better place. I think that's why the MRT2, so have that as their project place. It's a project place. It's not just about because they have all the workstation. So you just bring your project over there and start utilizing the facility that they have. This one. Okay. To answer to Mr. Tamil also, that how many projects have been completed incorporating BIM to FM, smart building solution, and data integration between BIM for FM. So what I can say at the moment, KLCC Urus Harta or Putrajaya Holding already embarking on this. They already deliver some of their building which related to integrated with the BIM and the smart building solution, which is maybe building automation. So, and also I think this because of they have their own projects, they have their own management team. So when they embark, of course, they embark to the end to get the better results by using this technology. So at the moment, yes, that's what I know. Other than that, there are still like the Menara, the Tun Razak exchange. I don't know whether they already hand over or not. And then there's they call it the KL Financial Districts. Last time they also have that. At the same time, the project that I know that have embarking on this is the Menara 118, the PNB Tower. So they also have this element of the BIM to FM and also smart building solution when they're designing stage, I think few years back. But I don't know whether they have completed or not on delivering this at the moment. So maybe for us to check about this. I'm also interested to know. Okay. And Nazir also interested to know. Maybe Robiza also interested to know, because this is the thing that when relate to the industry we call about IR 4.0 using big data. So this is where we also want to make sure our industry or our country are not left away from the technology that happen around the world. Okay. Do you have any other question from the audience? So. Okay, Nazir, to SN Nazir, how is the system under BCSM ensure that all the cost data of the life cycle is reliable and suitable for benchmarking practice, especially for the practitioner and client? This is from our Sherin Ghazali, our leader in BIM, FM in CIDB. So over to you, Nazir. How the system under BCSM ensure all data cost data is reliable and suitable for benchmarking.
Okay, I understand the question. I think before we go, we ask about the system, how to do the system. I think anybody easy can develop system, but to me the important is the data. Without the right data, the validated data, I think useless. You have a very big or very sophisticated system or software. What we did is actually how this to make sure that the data is reliable or the system reliable. I think for this life cycle costing, even data from for N3C, what we did is there are 2 or 3 layers that we need to make sure the data is reliable and accurate. The first thing is, I think the good that CIDB doing now is do a collaboration with the association. I think for FM, I think Mafam is joining us to give collaborate, to give input. Maybe they also will contribute some very good data for the success of the system. From that data, also CIDB also doing some good collection through FM contractor. Now CIDB already registered FM contractor through FM code, I think. And with the data, PCISM, my team, we extract all the data, especially from the BQ, FM BQ. And then from that, we include, we upload the system. And I think the system, we try to put the system like a gate. That means once the data include the system we alarm if there any some normally if there are plus minus 10%. So the system we notify you that please check this data whether it's correct or not. And then based on that, we go back to the contractor or suppliers the data. We will ask them whether this data is correct or not. If they say yes, this correct data, then we allow the system to generate the data. Before we publish that, we have another one more layer to validate the data. That means the team says, that means through our technical team. So they will look at data first. Then if they're okay, then we release the data for public. But sometimes some error also, the data is released or published. But the system also allow to unpublish, and then we rectify any mistake, and then we publish it. That is how we measure, or we make sure the data is reliable before the industry use it.
Okay, I think talk about this when I saw the system, I tested already the system for your information. So I think this is one of the good start. Talk about the life cycle costing. So maybe what we can do is that we need to collect the previous data first, like previous project. That is the fast track that I think we want to go for life cycle costing in the future. So we need to have a past, you know.
Yes,
so
yes.
From the past, you know, from the past, maybe we can create as like not yet benchmarking, but the sense of the level of data in the level of value, or the level of life cycle, what happened to the past. On the past, it's not yet detailed. Maybe on the past, we go on rule of thumb, like I always say that rule of thumbs, you know, a percentage of this. There's something good to start. And then meantime, so we can see that we already have a BIM model. We also have a few BIM projects either in JKR or in other private sector. So we can include them or invite them to participate on this. You know? So, and then of course they need to sign the PDPA, so we're not sharing.
Yeah.
So and from that initiative, I think we can start to do the detailed ABC costing. Because in FM it's not just about the rule of thumb, because we also talking about relation to the numbers of work orders, numbers of people, numbers of preventive activities, warranties. So all these activity can, at the moment, it's not being documented. At the moment, it's just fly through information. Like after next year, we don't longer consider this information as part and parcel of the budget of the building. I think we always based on rule of thumb. Last year is 1 million, so this year we increase or we decrease, depends on the feeling, or depends on the contract being awarded. So I think we need to start on this life cycle costing, because everybody actually want to have the reference. Of course, if we hire the people, the third party outsider, so we sell the data for us, but we don't want to do that. We want CIDB is host it, and then the data remain in Malaysia, and the data is being used by the Malaysian people, and then and it's also not expensive. Of course, we buy data outside is very expensive. We need to pay $. And then this is one of the elements that's why we want to have CIDB hold this information. And then it's also helping the government to prepare the budget, helping the government to confirm whether the budget they want to table to the parliament for future is correct, and then it's been challenged with the background log of data that we have previously, and also future data that we have. So in the same time, they will increase the value of the FM contractors. So it's not being paid by the previous contracts, but we pay by the right numbers of the works, the right numbers of the value that you want to deliver. And then the element of that also, we also can look on the rating the FM, rating the buildings, where you want to have a 5-star FM contractor, but please prepare the budget for 5-star. 5-star FM contractor mean they need to pay 5-star value. So cannot pay you want to have 5-star FM contractor, but pay 3-star budget. So it doesn't work well. So
it is premium.
Yeah, I think this is like to become the nation. It's not just, we cannot just say that. I always heard about you pay peanut, you get monkeys. So we need to, I think, move away on this, and then at the same time we are looking about how to increase our they call it our value of project, value of the contractors. So I think this is something that we need to do. Okay, sorry to I think a little bit touchy because this is what we also been discussed few years back where I were with the MFM. You know. Okay, I think this is more to PS Rofizlan. Is there any initiative from the government to embark on the BIM Excellence Center that showcase project success and best practice from the practitioner?
Oh, I think we should have that. For now, we don't have.
I think what we I think last time we give award for the when during a BIM day. Is it?
Yeah, but that is I think 2 years ago.
I think
Yeah,
before
but
COVID 2019. So,
yeah, but because those I think because now we don't have collected any data. We don't collect any data, and they one event in Singapore every year on the on BIM lah. There are there are many categories where I think last time the one of our Microcorp win on the line 2 over there. Yeah, because of they can, if I'm not mistaken, they managed to reduce the costs up to 4 billion, if I'm not mistaken. Because of that, they win the award. They managed to reduce the cost by using BIM. But we can check back. I think you can Google it. Yeah.
I think it's good to have it back, you know, because now I think as per Prime Minister announced that we can have an event like 100% nowadays. You know. I think this is one of the open ups to this program like in relation to the construction industry. Part of the announcement today. Okay, we have one more question. I think this from Mr. Tamil one and again. I think my line of question is coming from the difficult. I think this is also for Mr. Rofizlan. I believe that coming from the difficulty faced by project manager and FM manager in convincing management and the board to spend the extra cost on BIM for FM and smart building solution and data integration between building IT solution. Can we get CIDB and BCISM to do a special exercise to obtain this information from projects that are already completed and implemented? This information will be provided useful input for decision making, budget allocation, and for construction project. It's more like a suggestion from Mr. Tamiwan.
Yeah, it's like suggestion. Yeah, why not? CIDB, they has another one arm. We call it Construction Research Institute of Malaysia, where all the testing on construction materials, studies, gather all the data is coming from that side. So because on our part at My BIM Center, we are we are doing our program to encourage people to train people towards BIM. But on study itself, normally we are using the other arm of the CIDB. We call it Construction Research Institute of Malaysia. Maybe we can suggest that, Nazir, to them.
I think I believe that there is also
I would like to share that currently CRIM, they are doing the study on this exercise. So they are looking for productivity. So they are study on the productivity IT part on the they are looking for consultant now, architect, QS, engineer. I think the result is still not published. They are doing the research now. Maybe once the complete, we can share the result. Maybe we can also ask the CRIM how they do this study also.
I think at the same time also, because I remember that when we want to register in CIDB, CIDB already come up with a new registration system for contractor registration. You know? So in order for the contractors, you know, to continue their registration, they need to submit a list of their contract that been awarded to them. So maybe they also can be part and parcel of the BCISM to also can be linked together to make the data collection also much easier to go for startups. Because for example, if I want to renew my class C6, And so I need to submit the list of project and then the project value in the system. So at least this also can be used to integrate with the BCSM system for startup. Okay, do you have any question from the participant? Because this Sembang Santai actually we meant for you to suggest any things that you like us to talk about this activity for next future. So we open for any suggestion about this kind of event. Anything from the participant? You want to share, you want to add, or you want to suggest us to have anything for next 6 weeks event, next 6 event that you want to conduct?
Yeah, any suggestion is would be good. Just like the other just now from Ms. Tevarai, sorry. I think the secretariat should take all this question and together with a suggestion so that which can benefit us for next what we have to do and what we should have. Especially as a BIM center, we need all those data kan. Kita kena buat lah.
Okey, ada satu soalan daripada Muhammad Iqbal Hakani Rosman. Dia tanya, selamat petang, saya nak pasti soalan saya berkaitan atau tak dengan tajuk ni, tapi saya nak tanya pendapat. Untuk kontraktor bina rumah, apakah sistem form BIM yang relevan digunakan, yang percuma atau kos rendah yang disediakan oleh pihak CRIB jika ada? Saya rasa saya boleh tolong jawabkan kot. Remember just now talk about the center, Cik Rafizan mentioned about the Microcorp. Diorang sewa tempat tu, dia dapat software. Dia dapat pakai software yang ada kan. Betul tak Cik Rafizan?
Betul.
So I think you also can do that, Cik Iqbal. So instead of you want to buy, so you sewa tempat tu, because tempat tu ada facilities.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah. One more thing, normally what we have, what we have that we have some data yang shows. You must understand when we talk about BIM, people who come to our places for training, normally there are two types of people, mainly. One who the consultant who got a job on BIM and they need to deliver the project using BIM. Then they send the people to use BIM. Okay. Second one is a personnel who want to upgrade themselves and want to upgrade themselves, and then they go back to their places and say, okay, boss, now I'm because whoever come to our places, there are two type of certificate lah. One, certificate of attendance. That one is, you just attend, but we haven't assessed you. Another one is by assessment. Once you pass the assessment, you can get the certificate of certify you as a BIM modeler ke, BIM coordinator ke, BIM manager. So once they got that one, they can bring back to their places and say, boss, now I've been certified, then maybe you should upgrade me, whatever lah. And for now, we also have, maybe I can share, last time we have checked that whoever who come to our places and train, most of them, they got a job. And another thing, we have a program with Polytechnic and those students who already graduate in 2019, 2020, but haven't got job. They come, they have a special program by this KPT KPT tolong orang semua hantar semua. And then we also put a placement for them. We train and then we call up some of our contractor, and we know that most of our trainers is industry people, JKR people. Yeah, we know where is the project, what kind of project. So we know who the contractor is, we know who is the consultant is, and then kita salurkan lah. We pass. This is the value that we have doing. Then based on that, we have the data lah, showing that most of them don't have the data. So come back to just now, you nak free ke, you nak apa ke, better you upgrade yourself lah kan. Kalau you boleh buat sendiri, then why not?
Right. what is the BIM potential impact in FM processes? And then what is the information management aspect for the FM of introducing BIM over the life cycle?
Oh, ini soalan you ni.
Okay. So we talk about I answer it, Cik Nazir. What is the BIM potential impact?
Proceed.
Process? So for example, if you have a model, so you want to simulate to do a cleaning job. So you want to know actually how many cleaners that you require and how many times for you to ask the cleaner to clean. So from the BIM's model, you can come up with a simulation, and this is what I use this model to do a simulation for this. And then in FM also, you need to run the fire drill, the simulation of how to conduct the fire drill, and what are the costs, the real costs when you want to conduct the fire drill. So this BIM model actually can be used for this. And of course, when you link this BIM to FM activity, or to FM's maintenance activity or corrective or preventive, instead of you hack the walls, so you don't need to hack the walls. And then when you link with the corrective and preventive maintenance, and then you can use this information easily for the maintenance team to identify where is the location of the asset and what are the information actually of the asset that already been built up during construction and then being carried over during the FM stage. And even before the FM stage, when you want to evaluate or audit the building, instead of you audit the real building, so you use the model to audit it first before you see it physically on site. So this is the benefit of FM actually. So if I'm the FMS, I know that the building have the BIM model. So instead of I go walk to find things up there, the 20-story, 40-story building, I rather use this BIM model to identify and what are the information they have for me to analyze and come up with how to do a preventive and corrective maintenance plan, how to create a FM management plan for this particular building or facility. So that helps a lot. And the best part is that since the BIM model is ready when you are doing LOD 300, when maybe 2 years before completion, so you can run the simulation, you can run the information to identify what are the maintenance costs that going to happen in this particular facility. It saves time. Instead of you wait until the building ready and then you ask the FM contractor, come, visit this building. So at that particular time, you're not even giving them information about your facility because maybe you don't have it. So you ask the FMers to guess themselves, to have their own feeling. And they are not giving you the right price. They might giving you the experience price, what happened to last project. So that's something that's benefit to the FM process. Yeah. So this what when I talk, I practice it. I deliver it. It's not just about from the literature, but this also from the previous activity that I involved in around the world, not only in Malaysia but in UK, in Europe. So this is what I've been talking. This is what I'm deliver, and then not only that, the new things that we want to use these BIM models, and in relation to the FM elements, so we want to do the RFI, the construction process that whereby so we can use this in relation to the FM process that they have, so we can audit the building before they hand over. So I think this is what I'm going the answer to the potential impacts. And then what are the information management aspect of FM of introducing BIM over the life cycle? Okay. When we talk about the life cycle when introducing BIMs, we have a information that is fresh from ovens, and we know it maybe I can say like 6 months or 7 months before you hand over, you already have the information. Okay? And then you want to do it for the asset life cycle, so you want to run the life cycle costing, and then you can start to simulate, how much, how long, or how many people that are required to manage facility. So from there, your budgeting are going to be perfect, or not perfect, but correct. I can say correct instead of perfect, because perfect you need to do many times to make it perfect, but correct, at least correct. So from the feeling of the correct, when you run the practice, you run the activity, so then you can come up with the make a correction, and then from there you can start to identify. The good FMers is not talking about the numbers of people they put on site, but it's the planning and it's the value, how they want to deliver it. But if we're still talking about how many cleaner we want to have in these contracts, and with the pay of 1,000 or maybe now 1,500 ringgit. So most of the time the cleaner is not there. So I think you can know whether your costing of the cleaning is correct or not, and you can start to look on the building whether there is a dust or not on your building, or there's a lot of activities that actually you want, but the cleaner is not there. But in the contract, there is a number there. So this is the activity that we want to start to really build up a good cost on the FM. I think that's the answer. Other than that, what else? At least, any other question? Thank you. Perhaps the organizer can share with the participant real project that utilize technology and utilization in FM and talk about the value. Yeah, I think this is what we are going to do in the series. Thank you, Sharif, for reminding that project cost, customer value. I think next coming we are talking about we are trying to bring a live project demonstration, the sharing from the people that participate in the project. If the organization permit them to share, I think we will definitely find and look for them. Okay, see now it's almost 9 o'clock already, 9:05. So any question, anything that you would like to put in the event next week, next event from participant?
So maybe normally most of the participants today, it looks like that we have 100 over. Maybe maybe I don't know how they want to. I want to know what kind of software they are using, because there are so many software out there, BIM software. So maybe that one also we need to know because it's good for us for training, meaning that we want to know outside there what kind of software that the industry is using, the most popular one. Now, right now we are only assume.
Yeah, I think they also need to do maybe some survey. So in the FM, in the BIM, what are the software that they use?
Maybe next time before they went out, they can just stick what kind of software that they have.
Maybe we can have this survey in our event form.
Yeah,
for the future, what are the information that required?
Out there we have Revit, ArchiCAD, Archibus, Bentley, Solibri, Navisworks.
So these are the software that are available in the center, right?
Yeah, Cubicos, Tekla. That is just name a few. There are so many others.
Okay. Okay, have there been any initiative or existing building owner in nation wanting convert to the building plan using BIM? There isn't way. Would CIDB be interested to incentive any building owner who want to embark on this initiative as a test project for others to emulate? Convert 2D to BIM, Mr. Rafizlan. I think that's something that's initiative that maybe we can think about. So.
Okay. What I can say that for now, for government projects, they're under JKR. Okay lah, for government project, any projects more than 10 million, they are circular from the JKR. Dia panggil arahan KPKR. Perkeliling KPKR. Arahan perkeliling KPKR, pengarah ketua KPKR. Okay. To use BIM. For now, they are 8 ke 15. I pun tak ingat yang diorang dah tender dan dah dapat, but more on road now. I mean, when we call BIM, Building Information Modeling, it's not only about building. It's also about infrastructure. Okay. Semua projek jalan lebih daripada 10 million. So, semua kena pakai BIM. And how I know, most of them come to our place for training. So I know projek Pasir Raja, Poset, jalan ni. Okay. They ask for help. Another thing, for the private sector, I nak cuma cakap private sector, we don't have the government side, they don't have power to regulate to use BIM. But at our place, we have developed, we call National BIM e-submission. Okay, National BIM e-submission is a system. Sorry, I ambil masa sikit ya. National BIM e-submission adalah satu sistem where we give to local authority. Now we are being talking with DBKL, apa ni, Petaling Jaya, Putrajaya, Kuching Utara dan yang Melaka Bandaraya Bersejarah. Mereka adalah PBT yang besar ataupun local authority yang besar. So nak menolong mereka adalah this system, when submitting person send the PSP send the drawing, normally they have to check ataupun they just receive and then they check maybe their SOP is 21 days, but that is for normal building. When we said more than 10-story building, then gonna took longer lah. You boleh bayangkan kalau bangunan macam our tower dekat KL apa yang tinggi-tinggi, dia ambil masa lebih lama. So by using this system, using BIM, because BIM punya software dia ada information. From this BIM, kita bagi kat PBT, the system, when people ataupun PSP tadi submit the drawing, the system will check. From 1 hour to 24 hours yang kita dah test, because we only have tested up to 12 story. Up to 12 story, the system took around 24 hours to check, because there are 13 element in building bylaw 1984. So this help siapa? Help the local authority, and we want to encourage the PSP to use BIM, so that when they use a BIM, their project, their building faster. Yeah.
Get approval faster.
Why should you take 21 days where we can when you submit by tomorrow dia dah boleh
give the result kan. Give the pointing system and then allow, and then also pointing where is need to improve.
This system is the first in the world, and we already checked. And the Korean and the Canada, BIM for Canada, dia panggil association lah. They already contacted how we doing it. Macam sama ada kita nak jual ke mereka ataupun kita pergi ke arah mereka lah, because dia referral, dia local authority, dia punya universal building bylaw dia different. So they want to have that similar lah. But kita tak guna lagi semua kepada semua PBT lah, baru ada 4 lah.
I think this is maybe what Mr. Tamil planning is that maybe incentive for the building owner. Maybe this incentive can be flashed through the PBT lah, kan? So whenever I remember that when I want to renew my building permit, with one MPSJ, they ask me to submit a drawing, a 2D drawing. So, maybe in future the PBT can encourage if you can submit a model, 3D model. So that's one of the incentive. I think it's not at the CIB, maybe at the PBT to have this kind of incentive. 3D model.
But we just to share that we have been talking with them now, and because this is semua governed under dipanggil One Stop Center 3.0. Dipanggil OAC 3.0.
OAC.
Yeah.
Maybe this also can be bring over to them instead of kat CIDB, because this by the authority, I think because I remember that from the BIM model, it helps the fire department to evaluate the runaway area, how long.
Okay. We have also program with them. Kalau with bomba, we call bomba lah kan. Bomba dia ada active and passive punya checking. So the system itself, kita boleh buat certain macam, let's say this room, the size and then berapa, kalau you pakai fire sprinkler, dia boleh kira berapa yang sepatut ada. Kalau dalam drawing tunjuk short one, dia akan bagi tahu reject.
Yes.
Tapi for running, dia are certain dalam bomba punya active punya tu, kalau untuk running punya checking, sistem tak boleh check because dia ada considerable, sebab sistem tak boleh check because dia ada running distance, dia kena human interaction because of kalau ada dinding situ macam mana semua
corner, I think they have calculation straight distance and then how long, I mean ada angles, so there's something that at least
Yalah, with Bomber kita ada human interaction jugalah, kita tak boleh buat semua.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's good for tonight. I think we already 9:15. Okay. Thank you both guests for the insightful answer.
Okay.
And then I need to wrap up this, because we only have 9:15. So thank you for 105 participants tonight, and to all the guests, is there anything else that you wanted to before I wrap up? So you can either send me an email or send or notify us using our email system. And before we end this webinar session, participants please take out a few moments to fill in the feedback form to obtain your CCD and CPD point from CIDB. And the link for the feedback form already posted in the chat box. And great for this tonight event. And thank you for having together with us tonight. And thank you for making this webinar a success. And thank you, Mr. Rafidlan. Thank you, Mr. Nadir. We hope to see you in the near future in an event. We appreciate your being here. And thank you again for joining us tonight. And Assalamualaikum and good night.
Okay, good night.
Okay, thank you.